What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We got a nice unboxing for you today. It's a game we've been looking forward to getting for a long time. We just got it in before the holidays, and we're going to get this unboxing done for you here. So this is Mortal God, so skirmish games in ancient Greece, and this is War Banner and Victrix. Victrix providing the miniatures, I do believe. So a fun game, another one of the sort of ancient, again, skirmish games. If we can get the box turned up and around here for you guys. So we can see quite a bit on the content side here. So, and this is, a good sized box and fairly hefty too. So we got 38 Victrix Greek miniatures in there, 16 mercenary hoplites, 8 unarmored hoplites, 8 peltasts, and 6 slingers, 163 cards, including roster and phalanx cards, gifts, injuries, and omens. The Mortal Gods rulebook, 2 quick reference sheets, 43 activation markers, 20 white, 20 black, and 3 red, 2 measuring sticks, 10 Mortal Gods dice, 15 damage dice, and a 6-sided die. You can kind of see the contents there in the back. It does not include the terrain pictured, and that's okay. And then a little blurb here about the game itself, but a fun one, and really, again, like I said, one we've been looking forward to getting for some time, sort of completing our set of ancients games or skirmish games that have come out over the last few years. So we've obviously had quite the library already of content for SPQR from Warlord. We've picked up Infamy from Two Fat Lardies, and then Clash of Spears as well, and now more recently this, and this kind of completes at least the ones that I know of. So we're going to do the unboxing today and obviously just focus on this. We'll have a review and other things later and kind of do a more deep dive into some of the aspects of the game. And then at some point, early 2021, we're going to kind of do a comparison between all 4 of these ancient skirmish games and kind of see what's similar, what's different, things we like, maybe things we don't like as much, or things that could be improved, and kind of take maybe like the best of each of them and maybe some suggestions there for like future versions or a brand new game itself. So anyway, so this is Mortal Gods. We'll be right back after we get this big box open. Alrighty, guys, so we have the rulebook here, and this was actually at the bottom, but we kind of rearranged the contents just to have this be first here. But pretty nice overall, full color, gorgeous gloss pages and everything like that. And one thing you'll maybe notice that immediately jumps out to you compared to some of the other games that we just mentioned in the first part of the video, that's the size of the rulebook, boys and girls. So fairly light, but that doesn't mean that's a negative thing at all. And as we'll see when we do another more in-depth review of the rules, there's nothing really lacking here. So, but we'll cover that in a little bit more detail later. Anyway, so that's the rule book, and then as you can see, packed full of goodies. That being said, the box is fairly deep too, although I feel like some things could have been rearranged a little bit to maybe make this a slightly smaller box without like damaging the components or anything like that. But anyway, so we get 2 big packs of cards here. So you can see here one of the Lokagos, and how some of the stats and things will work in the game here. So we have things like movement, attack, defense, leadership, and other things like that, and then special rules and points and all that stuff, and a lot of icons on there. So again, fairly typical of skirmish type games here. Injuries as well, so love the artwork, kind of going to that classic Greek style. So good stuff there. Big bag of dice here, so specialty dice. They're all 6-siders, so really you could, in a pinch, use regular 6-siders and just kind of figure out what you want the symbols to represent. These are used for your different actions, so like attacks, special attacks, defense, things like that, and damage dice. I really like that too. This is a big chunk of the weight here too, are these activation stones. So these are pretty large, guys, and again, a pretty hefty thing as far as weight goes. And I think from the box, said there's like 40 or something of these. So that's a pretty nice inclusion there on the part of the creators in Victrix. So between that and the dice, and then again, that's a lot of components there. And again, cards here, so lots and lots of stuff. Now we finally get into the miniatures. So we have our Victrix Greek archers here, so we got a couple sprues of that. So again, basically 2 guys per sprue here. One sort of with aiming the bow, one kind of having released it. Some of the peltasts here. Actually, no, this is still another archer sprue. So we have that, 3 of those. Then our hoplites. So a little bit of flash here and there, but nothing that can't be fixed. And again, pretty much all across the board, Victrix with everything in plastic is just phenomenal. So never really have any kind of complaint about Victrix minis. Every once in a while the flash gets a little bit pronounced, but like nothing that can't be fixed. So I don't think I've ever seen like a deformity or anything like that. So these are the peltists here. More of the mercenary hoplites. I think the previous ones were the unarmored ones, and then yeah, these are the mercenary ones, these having actual armor on them. And again, Victrix sprues tend to be pretty damn big for the most part, so there's a lot of stuff on here, so it's easy to get lost potentially, but it's still not that bad to figure out. And at the very bottom, and also part of the weight, is this sheet of MDF that you get here for your bases. So sort of the unit bases here, like the skirmisher type, individual ones, big ones for the heroes, I do believe, and then these guys for the hoplites, and sort of grouping them together forms a phalanx. So, and on the back here, I was wondering what that was, are the two measuring sticks here out of MDF, and got the inches on there, so, and kind of in the, like a spear form there, so that's really cool. But wait, there's more. So at the bottom here are two, or actually just one, quick reference sheet here. So I think the back said two, but I think what they really meant to say was it's two-sided. Would have been nice, of course, with this being like a two-player starter box kind of thing, to have two separate ones. But again, they've already included so much in this box, so regardless, you're still getting your value. And then the end of the rule book also has the same thing, so really it's not that difficult to photocopy. But anyway, so quick summary sheet, and really anytime you have something like this is pretty good, and really nice that they include this and took the time to do that. So just from a component sake, I feel like they've knocked it out of the park here. So you know, this is I think Victrix, kind of their foray into actual miniature games, not just making the miniatures themselves, but getting into the actual gaming area, and really, so far, at least, phenomenal work. I know they've worked on some World War II minis, and I think they're developing a game around that. Haven't really paid too much attention to it, but that's something we might look at in the future. But, you know, for everything that you guys have seen us kind of get through in this box, there's just a lot here. So, again, this was the Peltis sprue. We had 2 sprues of the mercenary hoplites, the guys with actual armor, sprue of unarmored hoplites. So, and again, really not kidding as far as massive sprues there. 3 sprues of the archers, and then just a ton of components again. So very generous that they include this big old bag of dice. There's actual the regular 6-sider that they had mentioned as well. So good deal here. And then again, this thing is a big chunk of the weight here. So these hefty and very solid activation markers here. So I love that they included that. You know, they could have done that out of like cardboard or something like that, and probably saved some weight and space. But hey, nonetheless, that's pretty damn cool that they include that. So big shout out to Victrix there, and everybody, Warbanner, making this. So kudos on that part. Again, the cards here, we'll crack these open in a separate video, but again, just know that you're getting a ton of stuff, and this is just a starter set, guys. And then the rule book, again, as we mentioned, really ridiculously let's not say ridiculous. Let's say very thin. But you know, the fact that, I know I've already read through this, that you know they've managed to actually put together a very good game in such a small book. Sometimes, depending on the game, you know, some of these rule systems, and not just for ancients, but you know, you get these like massive thick tomes that kind of just suffer from bloat, and that's not the case here. So this is a very good game from what I can tell so far. Haven't had a chance to play it. Obviously nothing's assembled here or opened, but done a little bit of a quick read through, and this does seem like a pretty neat game, and a good example of that you can put a whole lot into not that much space and still have it be pretty good. So this is sort of all game, no filler, let's call it that. So that's a good approach to rule books, really. So again, here on the back of the book, just to show you real quick, is that reference sheet again. So really, you could either cut it off if you wanted, although I don't recommend that. Or just again make a color photocopy. It's worth it, I would say, especially if you're splitting this with like a friend or something, and just go from there. Personally, I think we're going to take the loose one and just laminate it. For our purposes, I like doing that just to add a little bit of protection. That way, if something spills on it or something, nothing's ruined. But as you can see, full color here, gloss pages and all that stuff, and just a really solid rule set. So, and again, there's going to be there are expansions and stuff to it already, which we'll get into at some point. But let me kind of more slowly go through here. Everything's written, everything's nicely laid out. The writing seems pretty, as far as wordiness, quick and to the point. There's again really nothing in the way of filler in this book. It's just everything you need to know how to play the game. A little bit of background even is included here, so they find time for that, time and space, but it doesn't detract at all from the game, and really like an actual skirmish game, not pretending to be something else. So again, we'll do a review and get into a lot of the details and stuff here on the next couple videos. So there will definitely be some more Mortal Gods content for you guys coming, but for now, like I said, this is just a quick tour through this box. And again, where this differs a little bit from other ancient skirmish games is that, at least at the outset here, this is really focusing more on just the Greeks, sort of city-state versus city-state, and almost more like smaller like war bands kind of going at it. So like actual skirmishes, not like stripped down army games essentially, or army size games that a lot of the ancient games tend to be. And again, we'll get into expansions and all that other stuff later, but hope you guys enjoyed. Let us know in the comments if you played Mortal Gods, if you're on the fence, or again, if you've played it, what your experience has been so far. What do you like about the game? What do you dislike? Have you tried any of the other skirmish games that we mentioned earlier in the video? Again, we'll be doing a comparison at some point here early 2021, but for now, we're going to get some actual Mortal Gods content out for you guys. We'll do a deep dive on the rules, take a look at all the different cards and stuff like that, and then kind of go from there. So leave us those comments if you could, like and subscribe if you haven't already, guys. We do appreciate it. Thanks so much again for stopping by. We'll see you in the next one.